up for Paul Ducher. This will be a 5-round quarterfinals matchup in the 74-kilogram weight division. Ear protection on, fighters ready, arbiter ready, timekeeper ready. Seconds out. There's the bell. We are underway.
And it's an E4 opening by the Serb. And on the Caro-Kann, he's decided to play with a restricted type of approach. Instead of taking space, he's basically allowing black to exchange queens. The black actually has refused. And it's kind of a weird choice, because when you exchange queens, the king can't castle anymore. At the same time, because of the exchange queens, castling doesn't matter all that much. But okay, I mean, if he wants to have a more of a fight, let's say, to keep the queens on the board is a logical choice. Very much depends on approach, what you want to do in a particular game against a particular opponent. I think Paul doesn't know much about his opponent, as he's new to the chessboxing world. Okay, still developing pieces. And back to C7, I believe that there was some damage could have been done on the queen side there by taking on B2. Paul's remained safer and just kick back to C7 and castle long. Both players have castle long, so it's a little bit like if both players have castle short. It's not so much of an aggressive game, although long castling is obviously associated with this aggressive approach. Aggression against aggression, they kind of cancel one another out. Taking on F4 definitely had to be done, I would say. It was offered, and the Serb cannot take back playing bishop E4 instead. And that pawn isn't too useful, but it's just like an extra pawn. I think what's more useful is actually the fact that he's liberated the E5 square, potentially 4 pieces, opened up the E file. We can see that the bishop's now found a place to develop quite easily. Knight A4 probably not necessary in as much as he could have simply taken it back with the bishop if it had been taken on C3. Black taking on E4, maybe prematurely. He could have maybe created a little bit more pressure on that spot before taking. Now he's down, but he's okay. He's on the move with rook E8. The queen has to make a decision, and he's going to D3.
And there's the bell. Just like the other night, that matters. You did get a pronunciation walk through Dabizlievje. Dabizlievje is the last name of a Serbian fighter. Very young fighter from Serbia, our host country, matching up against chessboxing OG from the 2019 Chessboxing World Championship, Paul Ducher. Paul cornering many of his countrymen and now receiving that same benefit from his teammates. Somebody who saw the ring. And we are seconds out from this boxing round getting underway. We know Paul's style, very exciting, outside fighter, counter puncher, and with the debut of the Serbian fighter, being very athletic, this is sure to be an exhilarating boxing round. Cool, calm, and collected as a Frenchman, determined the Serb. Valera from Latvia overseeing the action, giving instructions, glove to touch, fighters to corners, seconds out. rings the bell. We are underway. Head movement from Paul. Wanting to open up a serve with the tax to be able to counterpunch. So far, defense sound. Second jab lands for the serve. Straight of hooks. Serve trying to open up the body of Paul. Paul in a southpaw stance. Serve in a regular stance. Look for the battle of the front feet right now. Paul's front foot is outside his opponent. There's a punch to the back of the head on accident. Caution given to the serve. Some time to recover. This is called a rabbit punch. When you're hit to the back of the head, it has a different effect on the fighter. It is not allowed in traditional boxing or in chess boxing. Paul will have time to recover. This was unintentional. There was no official warning given. There was angle change and movement that led to that punch. And we are back to the action after a brief rest. Punch landing for Paul. Two hooks and a counter uppercut for France. Serbia is starting to try to manage distance. Paul darting through the jab of his own. Paul, one of the anointed chess boxing Avengers. A little distraction, diversion leading to a landed jab. Lead hook lands for Paul. Paul enjoying missing punches as much as he'd like to land them. And this punch, even if it doesn't lead to a score, it does lead to your opponent using energy. And that energy battle is big in chess boxing. Energy affects the chessboard just as much as the boxing ring. Two punches in that exchange landed for Serbia. Serbia, good technical boxing so far, but the unorthodox style of Paul seeming to have an effect so far on the serve. A serve with a caution. Paul, with his range, not going to walk into the range of the Serbian opponent. Lead hook landing for Serbia. Loading up for a big hook and angle change for the serve for technical boxing. Really liking the angle changes by the Serbian boxer. Very difficult to know exactly where your opponent is, but they're constantly pulling on that front foot. Jab, jab, cross from the serve, hook to the body lands, and a nice lead hook lands on the chin of Paul. Another caution for blows to the back of the head. And there's the bell. Seemingly the effect of that punch to the back of the head early in the round for Paul had him a bit off balance. Still missing a lot of shots. Still Paul's style of being shifty. Still landing a lot of counter punches, but the technical prowess of the Serbian chess boxer on display with angle changes and clean straight punches. This is a very fun style to watch because you see a lot of misses, a lot of counters, but a lot of energy expended from both fighters there. Hopefully Paul's mental comes back after that blow to the back of the head. So back to the board we go. Carl, what do you see?
What do I see? Knight f6, a queen f5 with a check. Decision's going to have to be made as to where and what to do. Covering up with the knight. And grabbing a pawn. It's true that the knight covering up did take away the only defender of the king side. So he was able to grab a pawn. Now Black's faced with a decision as to does he actually want to try to defend the remaining stuff, or just go all in on the counter and say, well, hey, listen, the pawn's only counting in the end game. I'm going to do my thing, and pressure on your pieces instead. So Queen A5 has been played. We're waiting for an answer from the Serb. And B3, so B3 was in effect defending the knight, but it did create holes in White's defense. Black was able to bring the bishop in on the dark squares. There's been a bit of a weakening on the dark squares, though White has the dark square bishop, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue in immediacy. The rook's came down. It was aided by its queen that was defending the rook on E1, in case you were wondering. And he saw it. There was rook takes E2. Bishop E2 was basically a blunder, and if Paul had just played very fast, maybe rook takes rook there. So now he's back to equality as far as pieces go. Let's count the pawns. We have 5 white pawns against 6 black ones, and here, yeah, that was well. Maybe in this case, you know, when there are certain regions of the brain, if they get touched, it's disorientation here. I think you might be a little bit disoriented from maybe the rabbit punch, because this type of blunder you wouldn't expect from Paul. I've played with him multiple blitzes in the city of Toulouse, and his chess is really coming along. So this. Spectators at home, don't imagine that he did his screen for nothing. It really is a matter of what our sport sometimes delivers.
And that is why we love it. We live by the sword, we die by the sword. Headshot and having this effect on the board with a clean blunder in that round. It may all come down to this. Paul battling adversity with a blow to the back of the head, and a blow on the board with his queen following. Let's see if he can rise to the occasion with his countrymen chanting his name and bring it back in his boxing room. Head movement, baiting shots. Nothing landed so far. Paul's defense sound. Maybe trying to make the Serbian feel comfortable throwing shots, opening himself up, building up to a counter punch. 30 seconds down, Paul's not throwing a punch yet. And there's the first lead hook landing for France. Rear punch down on the chin. Double jab for France. Serbian attack. Flying record bites. The French defense. Paul's trying to keep the punches up. Paul, the definition of French defense. Great head movement. Good high guard when he needs it. Everything aware, angle change and a right. For Serbia. Serbia with very clean boxing so far. For Serbia. As Serbia continues his very fine high volume punches. Trying to highlight for his primary recognition now, which must be knockout. Serbia using a lot of energy to attack, but seemingly not letting up his pace. Two hooks land for France. And there's a test number one, and it comes down to this. Paul landing straight to the body. And there's the time. Fight all the way through to the end. Lots of cautions for a Serbian boxer. Both to the back of the head and overload. But Paul pushing through the adversity, making it back to the board immediately to start to assess the position. And this must come down to the fifth and final round of chess. Will allow the fighters to put back on their ear protection before continuing our chess commentary, and we are ready to go.
Well, it's very difficult when you know that a position has come from a blunder. Here, though, blunders can happen both ways. Things can still happen. He's actually got the queen back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big turn in this match. Now it has been equalized.
Short Matt, go around and see the time. I would really like to know what's happening on the clock, because I believe all of a sudden this is going to be one of the determining factors. Oh, I see the clock here.
47 seconds for white, 1:33 for black.
This could be the silver lining for France.
A check, easily deterred. Time of the essence in this final chess round.
Putting the rook behind the pawn, generally that's something that the camp with the pawn wants to do. He is not able to do it. He's on the 7th rank, which is usually a good thing, but here, usually, this is
another piece dropping for
another
black.
piece dropping. Will he have time, though, to finish the job? And he's seen there was a checkmate that was spreading. Black has seen it now. A check. Now the king must come up, and it does. I'm terribly afraid for the Serb that although he has a better position, he most probably will not get through to the next round.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a minute up on the clock, white almost running out of time. 5 seconds left.
Blundered the state for a king. Now there's a full minute up, and only 2 seconds away from capitulation.
Ladies and gentlemen, against all odds, with adversity in the ring and a blunder on the board, Paul Ducher finds a way. Official decision to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, in this 74-kilogram weight class, we do have a winner by technical checkmate, time out. In the black corner with the black pieces representing France. Give it up for Paul Ducher. I'd like to offer up additional ring name for Paul. Paul, find a way, Ducher. Sounds really good in English. Like the French and racing. An incredible up and down roller coaster